11 horses, a fast projected pace, and 20 Kentucky Derby points on the line. This is the 2026 Lecomte Stakes. This race is wide open with 3 horses exiting the gun runner, including the winner. 6 coming off of maiden wins, 1 still looking for his first win, and 1 that just exited an allowance race with that win. How will you find your winner? Facts and figures are going to give you that winning edge. I give you the stats, you make the picks. Hi, it's Maura from Trifecta and a little bit extra. And today I'm going to preview the Lecomte Stakes, a mile and a 16th on the dirt at the fairgrounds, Saturday, January 17th. Now, this is a big field of, count them, 11 3-year-olds, all vying for those coveted Kentucky Derby points. And the pace is projected to be super fast. With a long fairground stretch, it could set up perfectly for a horse that can relax early and finish late. Now, I'm going to take you horse by horse, telling you their stories. But before I do so, I need to remind you this. Horse betting is not legal in every state, so if you're betting, make sure it's legal. Now, let's move on to each contender. Post position 1 is occupied by Into Mischief. Trained by Brad Cox, he'll be ridden by Marcelino Petroza Jr., who is one of the top 5 riders on this circuit. Now, Brad Cox, he won this race last year with Disco Time, so immediately this barn deserves respect. Into Mischief has had 3 starts and 1 win, and on paper, his pedigree, quality. He is a $300,000 Into Mischief colt. Now remember, Into Mischief, he influenced the Kentucky Derby lineup last year, including being the sire of the winner, Sovereignty. And with Quality Road as the dam sire, hey, distance and class, not a concern here. Now early on, he ran twice at Horseshoe Indy. First was a mile on the turf where he just really didn't make a splash. Second was a mile and 70 yards on good dirt after his race was rained off of the turf. Now, he did win that race, but speed rating was a 57 buyer, and that is extremely light. Best effort came last month here, the Gun Runner Stakes, this exact distance. Now, he did finish 4th in a 6-horse field, but that speed rating went up to an 80 buyer. Now, Brad Cox said this horse took a big step forward in the gun runner, and I couldn't agree more. His recent work suggests he may be improving. For me, others stand out more in the race, but if that pace melts down, he's going to be one you may want to consider underneath. And speaking of horses who have already proven that they like this track and distance, we have post position 2, Carson Street. Trained by Brendan Walsh, he'll be ridden by Axel Concepcion. This horse has been remarkably consistent. 4 starts, and guess what? 4 times on the board. 1 win, 1 place, 2 shows. His maiden win came right here at the fairgrounds, and guess what? This distance. Now, it was a sloppy track, and he did have first-time Lasix, and that can really move a horse forward. Before that, he ran 2 solid races at Churchill Downs. In September, he nearly went gate to wire in a $120,000 maiden race going a mile, and he earned a 72 buyer speed rating. Then he stretches out again. He's got to go way wide. He dueled with Mesquite, who we're going to talk about later, took some bumps, and finished 3rd with another 72 buyer. Last time out, he is back here at the fairgrounds. He dominated that race, but it was a $54,000 maiden race on a sloppy surface. Now, he stayed close to the pace. He won by, get this, 11 lengths, and he earns a 79 buyer. Now, that number will put him in the mix, but for me, I do like others a little bit more. So Carson Street feels more like a horse for an underneath spot rather than a winner. And now we move on to a horse who absolutely loves being in the front. It is number 3, Crown the Buckeye. Trained by Mike Maker, he's being ridden by Ricardo Santana Jr., who's been on the board every start. 4 races, 4 times cashing, 2 wins, 1 place, and 1 show. When this horse wins, he wins big. 1 victory, a 12-length gate-to-wire blowout in a 6-furlong race. Another came at this distance, winning by 4 lengths and earning an 85 Beyer speed figure. That's the best speed figure in this entire field. The caveat, most of that success came against just Ohio bred company. His first real test was last month in the Gun Runner here at the fairgrounds, this distance where he did what he loves to do. He gets to the lead, sets fast fractions. This time though, he really couldn't finish the job and he faded to 3rd, earning an 80 Beyer. Now the notes say he weakened, and I don't like to see weakened in the notes, but context matters here. Those fractions, they were legitimate. If he could just rate a little, especially with the pressure coming from White Tiger, the number 8 horse in this race, he could hang around and hit the board again, or maybe even win. But that pace pressure is very real, and it's why some horses are going to be in trouble early, including the next one. But before we go on to that next horse, if you're finding this information useful, go ahead and hit that like button because it helps YouTube show me to more people who want to learn about horse racing, specifically the Lecomte. And if you're ready to get on that Kentucky Derby trail with me, or you want to learn more about horse racing, go ahead and hit subscribe. Now we are on the road to that first Saturday in May, and what better way to prepare than to get to know the horses. And also, I may be putting a little something special for people who really want to learn horse racing. If that's you, go to my website, www.trifectaandextra.com, contact me page, slip me a little note via email, and let me know that you may be interested. No strings attached right now. I just want to know, are you interested? And what do you want to learn about? Now on to that next contender. Coming out of post position 4, we have Exosome, trained by Kelsey Danner, ridden by Jareth Ludbury, who is one of the top 5 jockeys here at the fairgrounds. He's only run twice, 2 starts and 1 win. His debut at Ellis Park was really forgettable. 9th with a 30 Beyer speed rating. But then came a big turnaround at Keeneland. Sloppy track, $108,000 maiden race going this distance. But when you look at it, he only earned a 68 Beyer speed rating. Now he got the win and he even remained on his left lead. But that wasn't a fantastic performance, and the horses that he beat really didn't come back strong. He's going to need to take a significant step forward to compete here. For me, Exosome is a pass. Which brings me to a horse that I am very excited about. Coming out of post position 5, we have Golden Tempo, trained by Cherie DeVoe. He'll be ridden by Jose Ortiz, the leading rider here at the fairgrounds. Now, this is the kind of horse that makes you lean forward in your chair. He's only run once, but what a debut it was. A 6-furlong race here at the fairgrounds. Now, he broke a step slow. He found himself 10th in a 10-horse field, so way in the back. He had to go 6 wide, and he still came flying in late for that win. That's the kind of professionalism first time out that is so hard to ignore. Now let's talk about the stretch out. Can he get the distance? He's by Curlin. Remember Curlin? 3rd in the Derby, winner of the Preakness, 2nd in the Belmont. His dam sire is Bernardini, a dominant distance horse. DeVoe and Ortiz, together they have a 24% win rate. And while this colt hasn't been tested yet, the upside is obvious. For me, Golden Tempo is a legitimate win contender. And if you like upside, wait until you see the next one. Number 6, Thunderbuck, another Brad Cox trainee. This one ridden by Luis Saez. 2 starts and 1 win, and that win came right here at this distance in a $55,000 main special weight. Now he sat mid-pack. He makes a wide move, takes over, draws clear, wins by a length and 3/4, and he earns an 81 buyer speed figure, which is one of the better numbers in this field. Now it's important to note that win came with first-time Lasix. He's by Gun Runner with Oxbow as the dam sire. Distance, toughness, grit, all baked in. Brad Cox wins 32% of the time at the fairgrounds. And he's already said the farther Thunderbuck goes, the better he's going to be. With his strong late kick, he really fits the projected pace scenario. And for me, that makes him a win contender, which naturally leads us to the horse with the best late pace in the field. Coming out of post position 7 is Mesquite, Cherie DeVaux's second runner, and he gets Flavien Prat in the saddle. 2 starts and 1 win. Now his debut, a 6-furlong race, sneaky good. He finished 6th in a 12-horse field at Keeneland, but he earned an 80 buyer speed figure. Next time out, Churchill Downs. He comes well off of the pace to win going this distance in a $122,000 maiden special weight and earned a 75 buyer. Now he was scratched from the Gun Runner, but he comes in here fresh. It's important to note though, Jose Ortiz rode him in both of his starts, but Jose Ortiz is choosing to ride Golden Tempo. But Mesquite does own the best late pace numbers in this field, and in a fast-paced Lecomte, expect them to come rolling in late, and for me, he is absolutely a win contender. But not if this next horse steals it from the front end. The number 8 horse is White Tiger, also trained by Brad Cox. He gets Irad Ortiz aboard, and Irad has been on him for both of his starts. Always in the exacta, 1 win and 1 place. First out, he runs second in a $120,000 main special weight at Churchill Downs, going 7 furlongs. Earns an 83 buyer, despite having some early trouble. Next time, he goes gate to wire at this distance and wins with a 74 buyer as the heavy favorite. Now, Brad Cox has said he really didn't expect him to be on the lead that day. This horse is still learning. If White Tiger takes another step forward, he is very dangerous in this field. If he gets hooked early, things are going to get complicated fast. And that pace scenario opens the door for a very interesting maiden. Coming out of post position 9 is Ocelli, who is still a maiden, meaning he has yet to win a race. But don't dismiss him. Trained by Whit Beckman, he's ridden by Joseph Ramos. He's run twice and finished 2nd and 3rd, rallying from off the pace both times. And that's really important to note. Last time out going this distance here at the fairgrounds in a $55,000 maiden special weight, he was way in the back of the field. He has to go 6 wide, and then he finishes 2nd behind Thunderbuck, earning a 78 buyer. He's second only to Mesquite in that late pace, and today he gets blinkers for the first time, which can make a huge difference. In a race that could fall apart late, Ocelli is live. Now let's talk about the only undefeated horse in the field, and post position 10 is occupied by Stop the Car. Man, I've said that a few times. Trained by Brendan Walsh, will be ridden by Ben Curtis, one of the top 5 riders here at the fairgrounds. This horse, due for 2. He won his 6 furlong maiden at Keeneland with a 65 buyer. Then he stepped up into an allowance race at Churchill Downs, going a mile. Wins again and earns an 80 buyer speed figure. Can he get the extra distance? He's by Maximum Security, who had notable wins at the longer distances. Remember the Derby when he won, but then he didn't win because got disqualified? And the Dam Sire is Tisnow, the only horse to have back-to-back wins in the Breeders' Cup Classic. The distance is there. The question's going to be trip. Both wins came with ground-saving inside trips. From this post, he may have to drop back early and then rally. He's done it before, but there are horses here with stronger late pace. He's talented, but for me, the pace setup may not be ideal. Which brings us to the proven class of the race. Coming out of post position 11 is Chip Honcho. Trained by Steve Asmussen, he gets Paco Lopez in the irons, and Paco Lopez is a top 5 rider here at the fairgrounds. Now this is your gun runner stakes winner. Remember the gun runner? Right here at this distance. He's 3 for 3 on the board and has 2 straight wins. And his speed figures have been rock solid, 81 and 82 every time. Now he won the gun runner pressing the pace professionally under a tight hold. The outside post, not really ideal. Both wins came from those inside draws. But remember, Disco Time won this race last year from that far outside post. Chip Honcho has the class, he's got the speed, and he's got the experience on this track. And for me, he's got to be respected and is a win contender. The Lecomte is loaded with upside, pace pressure, and legitimate Kentucky Derby implications. If the pace melts down, look late. But if it doesn't, class could prevail. But now it is your turn. Out of those 11 horses, who are you choosing? Drop me a comment below. Tell me, who do you like to win and why? And if you haven't, go ahead and hit that like button and hit subscribe. Let's get on this Kentucky Derby trail together and sashay away with our money. I hope you all find your winners on Saturday. Cheers.